Earl Johnson, an elderly black man in his late 70s, walked out of the small grocery store with a bag of fresh produce. His wrinkled hands clutched his wallet tightly as he moved toward his old sedan, parked by the curb. Despite his age, Earl still carried himself with dignity, his neatly pressed clothes and polished shoes reflecting the life of a man who had worked hard for everything he had. Just as he was unlocking his car, a police cruiser pulled up, and two uniformed officers stepped out. Officer Daniels, a tall, burly man with an arrogant smirk, approached Earl while his partner, Officer Miller, leaned casually against the car. "Sir, we've had reports of a suspicious individual in the area," Daniels said, eyeing Earl's wallet. Earl furrowed his brow. "Suspicious? I just bought groceries. I've lived here for over 30 years. Daniels ignored him and glanced at Miller. "Looks like he might be carrying something illegal. Let's check him out." Before Earl could react, Daniels snatched the wallet from his hands. "What do we have here?" he muttered, flipping it open. Inside, there was $500 in cash, money Earl had just withdrawn to pay for some repairs on his house. "Carrying this much cash, huh?" Miller sneered. "That's a little unusual for someone like you." "Someone like me?" Earl repeated, his voice calm but firm. "That's my money. Give it back." Daniels chuckled. "We'll have to run some checks. You might be involved in something illegal. We'll hold on to this for now." Earl's heart pounded in his chest. He had dealt with men like this before, bullies in uniform who thought they could get away with anything. But this time, they had picked the wrong man to mess with. Calmly, Earl reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. "All right," he said, dialing a number. "Let's see what my son has to say about this." Daniels and Miller exchanged amused glances. "Oh, calling backup?" Daniels mocked. "What's he gonna do?" The call connected. "Hey, son," Earl said. "I need you to come down here. Two officers just stole my money." On the other end of the line, a deep, authoritative voice responded. "Where are you, Dad?" Earl gave his location. "I'll be there in 5 minutes," his son said. Daniels and Miller were still laughing, but their amusement faded when a black SUV with tinted windows pulled up moments later. A man in a sharp suit stepped out, his badge glinting in the sunlight. The officers' faces went pale. Chief Marcus Johnson, their boss, strode toward them, his expression dark with fury. "Officers Daniels and Miller," he said coldly, "would you like to explain why you just robbed my father?" Daniels stammered, his previous arrogance gone. "Sir, we thought—" "You thought wrong," Marcus snapped. "Hand over the money. Now." Daniels quickly pulled out Earl's wallet and handed it back with shaking hands. Marcus turned to his father. "Are you all right, Dad?" Earl smiled, taking back his wallet. "I'm fine, son. Just glad to see justice in action." Marcus folded his arms and glared at the two officers. "Both of you report to my office. You're suspended pending an investigation. And trust me, you won't like what comes next." As Marcus escorted his father to the SUV, Daniels and Miller stood frozen, realizing they had just destroyed their careers in a matter of minutes. Earl looked at his son with pride. "You did good, son." Marcus smiled. "You raised me right, Dad." As they drove away, the two disgraced officers remained standing in the parking lot, knowing they had made the biggest mistake of their lives.